Hey everybody, Blake here, with a small editor's note. There is some accidental provocative language used in this episode. Just throwing that out there. Also, for those interested, and with an email account, I have 2 emails so far. I need 3 more to return. Please send them. I need this. More than you know. I have so little. Just me and my hot wife. Which you would know about if you listened to the podcast that I'm in. Anyway, on to the show.
Hey, and welcome to our podcast, Old for My Age with Cassie, who is me, Cassie, where we talk about some lighter stuff, we dig into the deep end, and we get to see a new guest almost every week. This week, I'm super excited to introduce you to my really good friend, Carly. Carly, introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. Good to be here.
And yeah, I'm nervous to see how this goes.
Because it's me and you.
Yes, and you know, out of all my friends, I think we're the only ones who match each other's energy level, you know? We never know what we're going to say or do, so
right.
I might pee my pants.
I wish I could say we finish each other's sentences, but it's with the wrong ending.
Yeah, it is. It is with the wrong ending. But that doesn't matter, you know? If we get there. Right. We get there. So why don't you start by sharing, I guess, how we met or one of your favorite memories or something along those lines.
Of course. So I was lucky to meet Cassie at a young, ripe age of middle school era. Let's see, because my sister was a year and a half older, so she was in your age.
Yeah, she was in my grade.
Yeah, so you kind of got friends with her and some of her friends, and then we all connected one way or the other and figured out that we were a good match together, and we had the best time together.
We did.
So, that was definitely one of my best connections that I made in middle school, was finding out that I deserve to be with a girl like Cassie.
Wow. Yes, that esteemed level. And then I think like most of my memories with you come from my freshman year of high school. So you were in 8th grade. Yep. I was a freshman. One of my favorite memories that I'm just not thinking of is when you came to shadow me for the day at school.
How could we forget about
that was funny. That was really
like
funny.
A tiny bodyguard for a day.
It was really I'll never forget that.
Yes,
I don't really think anything significant happened, but it was just fun. You know?
And I knew that there was no chance in hell I was going to your high school.
So it was just. You got to get out of school for a day and hang
out with you for a day. It was
What's
solely
funny is you
just
probably met Savannah then.
You're actually probably right.
You probably
if you guys
did.
Had classes together.
Yeah, we did.
Then definitely.
That's funny. I just thought about that. But that is
very true.
We have a lot of really funny memories, and definitely
I feel like that's the majority of them.
I know. Just stupid things that we did when we were younger, even when we're now,
if you give us the chance.
I think one of my favorites that I'll start us off with are the hamsters.
I fully agree.
Yeah,
that is the greatest story from start to finish.
Before we go into it, when we think of the timeline, there were the blueberry hamsters.
You are very much better with the timeline than I am, but yeah.
Then there was Frankie.
Yes. The dwarf hamsters, blueberry.
The blueberry ones, yeah.
It's blueberry?
But I can't recall if they were first.
They were a little bit bigger than a blueberry, but...
Were they first or after?
They were first.
They were first, okay.
Because I bought them because we went so often, so I bought them.
Yeah.
And then the other times that we would go, I'd get the hamster food, get the hamster treats.
Yeah.
We kept seeing Willie there.
It wasn't Willie, it was Frankie, remember?
Frankie,
yeah, but we called him
Frankie.
One-Eyed Willie.
Yeah,
because the pet store employee was so over us.
Yes.
And looking back, we thought we were so funny, but I just know,
us. He absolutely hated us.
I just know that if I saw us now, I would be like, youths.
You hear the little the bell, and you're like, oh my God, it's these girls.
Exactly. So we had I can't say we. I mean, I will say we just
you
because
were there all
I was
the time,
there. Yeah,
so we did.
2 dwarf blueberry hamsters.
Yep.
And your dad
Brother
said no.
Yeah,
Your dad
absolutely.
said no.
We asked beforehand, and he said, no, you cannot have any hamsters. So we went and bought 2 blueberry dwarf hamsters.
Yes. Garrett and Tylor.
Yep, Tylor. L-O-R.
I can't remember why I think it had something to do with the boy at the time.
I was going to say, it definitely had to do with the
boy.
We
Yeah.
were like, he is not a Tyler.
Yeah,
because that's
Tylor.
bad.
Yeah.
It's a Tylor.
So you hid them in your closet.
Yep.
Yeah.
In a cage, though.
In a cage.
They weren't like
They
just
weren't free
roaming
range,
in the
but-
closet. Yeah, so they were in the cage, in the closet, just the 2 of them. And so when we kept going back to get food and treats and extra things for them to play with, we kept seeing Frankie there. And
It was a one-eyed hamster.
yep, she was one-eyed.
But we thought it was a boy.
Yes.
We thought it was a boy.
Yes.
And that's how
she
we named
was
it Frankie.
Right.
Frankie. After the
Yes.
pet store employee.
Frankie. It was.
Yeah.
See, I totally forgot what
I
we named
know.
him Frankie. And I fully can remember the man Frankie.
Yeah. Just not the hamster.
Big burly guy. Looks, anyways. But yeah, so
And then one day,
we were looking at the hamsters and he just pretty much comes over and says, you know what? You want him? You can have him. And he's like, nobody's bought him. He's been sitting in this cage for months at this point. So you can just have him, you know? You guys always come here and you buy food, you buy all this, you buy hamsters, you can have him. And so me and Cassie were stoked.
oh, we were so
We
excited.
had 3 hamsters.
Yeah. 3 hamsters that your dad didn't know about.
Exactly.
And then
so that's where we started.
3 became
13.
13
Quick.
because Frankie
Quick.
was a girl. And not only was she a girl, but she was pregnant
With
and
10 babies.
had 10 baby hamsters.
Right. Really,
You went
we
from
really
0
only-
hamsters
We
to
probably found out that she was a girl like a couple days before she gave birth.
I don't even remember if we did. I think
Until
it was when
she had babies. And we were like, oh my God,
We were like,
you're a
what?
mom.
What?
You're a mama.
what do we do? Like,
You're a mama,
I
Frankie.
remember I was so scared. I was like, Curly, you need to separate her from the babies.
Yes.
She's going to eat the babies.
Well, and that was the thing my mom told me. She
Yeah.
was like, I just want you to be warned, you know, hamsters oftentimes they eat majority of their babies, you know, it's just how life goes. She did not eat a single one.
Good for her.
She saved every last single one of those 10
Where did the hamster babies go?
Well, so we had the 2 dwarf hamsters in one cage.
Yeah.
And then we had Frankie and her babies in one cage.
Yeah.
So it was one very large and in charge one-eyed Frankie and her 10 babies in one cage. So that was why my mom said, you know, it might be a space thing.
Yeah.
Or
Resource
whatever,
thing.
whatever hamsters think about in their little tiny heads and decide that those babies aren't worth keeping around. And no, all of them survived. And I remember.
And they just lived in a closet.
They sure did.
Dark.
And 2 hamsters.
No light.
And 2 cages. But what happened when my
It's
dad
actually quite
found out,
terrible. Like,
Right, it
yeah.
sounds awful.
It sounds so bad.
I think they were having the time of their lives, though.
Maybe.
We played with. Remember that little key?
We had the play.
We
Yeah,
had
the playpen.
gate
Yeah.
for freaking hamsters, and I would set it up all around my room,
And
and,
they would
all of them would roam around and
yeah.
scatter around. So then it got to a point where I was not using the play cage, and one of the baby hamsters crawled into an open outlet. Like there was no outlet where the outlet was supposed to be.
Like no cover?
There's just a hole in the wall. So that hamster crawled on in there.
Never
and was
came out?
into the wall, dude. And my wall was lined up back to back with the living room wall. So my dad was watching TV and this hamster is in between. And so I'm like, I need to get this hamster out as quiet as possible. He cannot know about this hamster. So I start tying socks together. And I was tying socks together and I threw them down into the little outlet hole and put a hot dog at the bottom and a hot dog on top. Yes, you did. I feel like.
I don't think I knew about this.
And honestly, I sat there. Honestly, it was less than 5 minutes, and I sat there. I'm like, I don't know what hamsters are going to be interested in, but I think it would be a hot dog.
Yeah.
And so, sure enough, I just see the little face bloop, pop on up out of the. I'm like, oh my goodness! Snatch them out. Yeah, I just reel in the socks, and I got the hamster out of the hole. And my dad came in another night. He walked in, you know, to say his goodnight and what are you doing? And I was like, oh, nothing. Silence, and all you hear is. He's like, what's that noise? Nothing. no, Carly, what's that noise? And he turns to my closet. I'm like, there's nothing in there. And he opens the closet to 13 hamsters. Not one, not two, 13 whole, living, thriving, striving hamsters. And I'm pretty sure he immediately just went to my mom like, what the?
Yeah. And that was the reason.
Yeah. That was the starting of our bondage.
Yeah.
Was that?
Where did the hamsters end up, though?
Here. Back at Petland.
Oh, they all went back? I don't think I knew that
When my dad
either.
found out, he was like,
yeah,
you're
maybe I
taking
did.
them all back. So I know for a fact that Frankie, the actual guy that worked there, for sure hates us because he gave us one hamster and I gave him 13 back. I said, here you go,
You're probably on a list
Frankie.
somewhere.
Yeah. I'm the reason Petland went out of business.
They didn't go out of business. They just moved locations onto bigger and better things.
Location, they were like, okay, we're done dealing with these kids
hopefully
in
she
this
never
area.
finds us again. That is just so bad.
That was for sure, I feel like, our most
but like looking back on it, why did your mom let us keep that many hamsters?
I'm telling you, she was in for the thrill of it, like the drive-thru.
Yes, like the drive-thru.
We would literally put on makeup so ridiculous. I mean, I would form a unibrow out of mascara or eyeliner with deep blue eyeshadow and ridiculously clumpy mascara.
Like just as ridiculous as we could possibly make
red.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. The goal was to look like a fool, and we fully encapsulated that in our looks. I do believe
2-3 in the morning, your mom would take us through the drive-thru at McDonald's.
She'd open the door. Hey girls, you want to go to McDonald's? Let me do my makeup and I'll be ready.
Yeah, hold that
just
thought,
a
Mom.
second.
And then we added the guy on Facebook.
I was gonna say,
yeah, I want to say
him.
his name, but I'm not going to
because
it was so
I
funny.
know it starts with a,
I know his name,
but
yeah. But yeah, that was.
I wonder where he is these
I don't know, but
days.
looking back on it, it's kind of weird that like a grown man added 14-year-old girls
That is very true.
as a friend on Facebook.
He had to be at least, 19?
Oh, he was probably
At
older
least.
than that. Yeah.
He was probably 23, 26.
Who knows? I mean, at that time, everyone seemed much older.
Right.
But
I remember his name now.
yeah. And
Such a unique.
I think it was right after we got the hamsters, maybe not the exact day, but in that time period, that you decided it would be a good idea to crawl under the car and to scare your mom.
Absolutely. Yes.
So you crawled under the
That was
car,
a great story.
and when she comes out,
I'm going to scare her.
you're going to scare her.
Yeah.
And you scared her.
But I
But
scared the wrong one.
then on top of that,
I scared the piss out of
I
Cassie.
literally was laughing so hard that I peed my pants. And that, I think it was 3 times. 3 times.
It was because when you first came out, you were in your pants and then you peed. So I went back inside and gave you my shorts.
And then on the way to my
We came back out, yes, and then you peed your pants in the car in my pants. And then so we had to drop you off in pretty much double soaked shorts to your house. Like, yeah,
Oh
we
my
take very
God.
good care of your daughter. Thank you for
Yeah.
letting her hang out with me.
She definitely doesn't have anything to do with 13 hamsters.
Yeah.
And she didn't pee her pants
No,
twice
she
on the
didn't
way
pee her
here.
pants. I didn't leave her in soaked shorts all night. I promise, but please take her back.
I promise that I don't pee the bed.
No.
I'm pretty good at.
You are fully willing to pee. You need to be totally conscious
guess.
to pee your pants. You're not gonna do it without thinking about it.
Josh is giving me the signal. Too much pee talk. Yeah, the ditch story.
is a prime.
So
story, that's for
where my parents live, they live like right behind or in front. I don't know what the right wording of that is. This ditch is really like the only way. I don't know.
It's a well-constructed ditch. Okay, 'cause
it's a
it
very
has concrete
intentional
on both sides
ditch.
with little handles.
Yeah, there's like a dip and the handles.
Storm drain maybe is like
Maybe.
not like a storm drain but it's where it
I
gets
don't
everything
remember what
flowing
brought
to.
us there. I was like, oh, come look at this over here. Like,
Right.
here's a
Why
cool
were
party
we playing
trick.
around the ditch?
Who knows? It was my 14th birthday. I
Yeah.
remember that. And we were just like, oh, yeah, looking at the water. This is cool. And then all of a sudden, Carly's like, I'm going to go down there. And
No.
what?
It was the balloon.
What?
You don't remember dropping the balloon down there? That was why I went down
No,
there.
I thought you just
get
went-
the balloon. Because it was me, you, and Taylor.
And
there
Bethany was there too.
Yes, and it was just a water balloon. It was very easily replaceable, but the balloon fell in there. And we're staring at it for a while like, well, it's gone. And I was like, I can get it. Taylor's like, no, absolutely do not go down there. And I was like, you're right. I'm going. So
And then you slipped.
I did. I crawled all the way down there and I got the balloon. And I remember I was like maybe almost halfway up, a little bit more than halfway up. And then I slipped all the way back down and Taylor just started
Like
bawling.
shrieking. Like
She was convinced I was going to get eaten by an alligator.
that you
gator
were dead.
in
Dead
this
on the
ditch.
spot.
Yes.
Yeah. Dead on the spot. I mean, you know, I got in a lot of trouble for that. I'm pretty sure like my
I'm
phone
pretty
was
sure
taken
we
away
were
for
grounded.
months.
Yeah, we were grounded because we were not supposed to be playing in there. And the only thing that gave us away is because you peed your pants again. What the Cassie? We could have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you and your pee pants.
I really think you're the only person who's ever made me laugh that hard.
Because you were laughing. Honestly, I feel like you were laughing more at
Taylor.
my sister's
Yeah.
fear of losing her sister to a storm drain.
As Floridians, it is important to automatically assume that an alligator is in every
Couldn't come
body
out
of water.
anything,
Yeah.
right?
But
That's what the ladders are there for, to ease their access in and out.
who knows? And then I think
That one got us into a lot of trouble, that's for
that
sure.
did, yeah.
But it didn't stop us from being able to go on a trip together.
Yeah, we did go on a trip. I remember
To a
being
different
so
state.
flattered, right? So
Yeah.
your sister got to choose one friend, and then
Right.
you got to choose one friend.
And I chose one of my sister's friends.
Yeah, right? I don't remember. I think you chose someone else, and then they couldn't go, and then you were like, oh, let me ask Cassie. And I was like, yes.
Maybe at that moment, probably, but I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I can't think of anybody
really
that I would have asked.
Who knows? So we go on a trip from Florida to Bryson City, North Carolina.
Yeah.
How long we were in the car? I don't know. But I remember
It was longer than what it normally takes. That's for sure.
And we left really early. We left at like 4 in the morning.
Yes.
And
Yep.
we were
To
like
beat all the
so
traffic.
tired. We were like, we'll just brush our teeth later. And I remember we were both like, this was a terrible mistake. We
Awful.
should have brushed our teeth before
Right.
we left. I don't know why we
The
thought
back of that trunk probably smelled so
having
bad
2
after
extra minutes of sleep was worth more than just going and
was
brushing
worth
our
us
teeth.
sitting there in the back trunk together singing a freaking playlist of 18 hours. Do you know what song is-
Counting Stars.
Yes.
And Blurred Lines. I remember we listened to that song over and
Yes.
over because it was like a top 40
Yep.
playlist. Your
Because
Uncle Howie.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say my Uncle Howie burned. I mean, I don't know if that's illegal, but he burned the CD at that point. So
Statute of limitations is over. It's been 9 years.
and he made the playlist. He just downloaded the top 40 songs like,
Yeah.
at that moment in time. And
I just remember us listening to Counting Stars
Yes.
so many
Right.
times.
absolutely.
Just over. And then we were
Honestly, that whole album of Maroon 5 was
and all
spectacular in my opinion.
girl, that was One Republic.
Oh, you're right. I can't believe it. Who am I?
And we were so dead. What is it, root beer or cherry Coke? I remember we were like, if we don't get,
Cheer wine.
it wasn't a
It was.
It
Cheer
was?
wine.
Well, that
you
makes
were the one that
sense.
introduced it to me.
Yeah.
No, actually, maybe it was RC Cola.
No.
No.
I don't.
They
No. It
sell
was
that
definitely.
mainly in
Yes,
North
we saw
Carolina.
that, but I know
The
we
RC.
definitely were so set on having a particular drink, and we weren't going to be satisfied until we got that drink.
Then I would say it was cheer wine.
That sounds likely. I thought it was root beer. Not
I would say
important,
it's
but
cheer
we
wine.
got there and
That was our main goal.
And your sister got to bring a friend.
Yes.
And the cabin was great, though.
The cabin
all
was
of us
great.
stayed
Our
in the
memories
cabin.
were great.
So we decided to take a walk outside at night. And
After
then
we got done rolling down the hill and frolicking in the field.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we heard this noise. And then we convinced ourselves that it was a bear.
Bear. Big grizzly bear. Big brown bear.
And you were taking a
Coming
Snapchat video of it. And that was like, Snapchat was relatively new at the time.
But that was our proof because I'm like, dude, do you hear it? Don't you hear it? Like, it's a bear.
So it was not a bear. It was an air conditioning
It may
unit.
have been a bear, but we concluded that it was an air conditioning unit. But
I just feel like we have a lot of fun memories like that when we were tubing down the river and we ran into a group of cute boys. Right. And so then we were dead set on finding them again. And we were like running.
And this was maybe like a 2-minute, not even, of like
interaction.
Hey, floating down the river.
Yeah.
Hey, I see you. Hey.
And I'm pretty sure both of us had boyfriends at the time.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, but we were like,
oh my God, cute boy in the river. He'll never talk to me again. Let me go see
what
he's got.
Run with my tube to try to catch up with him.
Yeah. Did he stop at this store? Did he stop over here?
Is he still going?
Find them. No, never found him. Maybe that's why you're with Logan now.
I guess. Tube guy, if you're listening to this,
right.
I have no idea what you look like. And if I saw you again, I would not recognize you.
But you were the one that got away.
So it's really funny to me because we went on this trip, like your family went on this trip because a family member's wedding. And I pointed this out to you like a few weeks ago.
And you
like
were just a random person
invited
girls
to this
like
wedding. Yeah. And as someone who recently threw a wedding, I would like never. Yeah. I would never just let some. Like, what was it? Like your second cousin or like your third cousin?
That's my thing. Honestly, I wish I could tell you who got married, but I do not know.
So just random, and we were matching. We wore white t-shirts and shorts.
We all had to wear white. That was a requirement. It was white and jeans.
Oh yeah.
That was the only. That's
and there was a lot of sunflowers. I remember that. We got to catch lightning bugs. Yes. That was really cool.
That's definitely something that I'll never forget.
Yeah, that was really
And it's funny that you call them lightning bugs. So
what are they?
Fireflies.
They're called lightning bugs. Thank you, Josh. I don't know, but I know I'm right.
How is Josh the end all be all here? What the? I think
whatever
I'm about to name a new number one man over here.
Whatever they were, we put them in a jar.
We put them in with
we
holes.
Put hamsters in the closet, and we put bugs in a jar.
We did let them breathe. Okay.
Yeah.
Take that into consideration.
There was something else I wanted to
them.
mention about that trip. I just can't think of it. Oh, we went ziplining. That was the only time I've ever been ziplining.
And that cabin that we stayed in
was so
amazing,
nice.
in my opinion.
Oh my gosh. It was like 4 or 5 bedrooms.
Yeah, it was. It was 4 bedrooms. And the one bedroom that we stayed in had 2 bunk beds.
Yeah.
And then I think another one had 2 bunk beds. And then there was 2 like full queen or king size.
It was pretty cool.
It was super
I would
cool.
love to go back there.
Right. I didn't think that I was like a log cabin kind of girl, but
no, that was a nice trip.
Transformed me.
And I remember we got these pickles. Like your aunt Tina got some pickles, and I still sometimes think about those pickles.
Yes,
the hot garlic ones.
Yes, and they're in the clear thing with the tub, and they have the logo is just like a pickle guy. Like
but they were like Bryson City pickles.
Yes, and it's funny because they actually bought a bunch of those pickles. And they had them for probably a year or 2. Because, like, when we would go for Thanksgiving and stuff, anybody want a pickle? I'm like, me. I know where those pickles came from, and I want 3.
Oh, man. I know.
Sorry,
I wish we could. I wish we could order them. Yeah, we did lose our way there a bit, but... And it's funny because we both lived in Tallahassee at the same time.
Yeah, I went, like, a year after you did, but that's...
And we ran into each other one time when you were working at Red Robin. And I was like,
yeah.
Hey.
Surprising that you would be at a Red Robin.
I know. I don't like Red Robin. Was Logan there? I think he was there.
I would assume that he
that would be the only reason I would find myself in a Red Robin.
Yeah.
I don't know,
and
but-
that was very short-lived. I think I worked at the Red Robin for not even 2 months.
Oh.
So that was just pure
Coincidence. Yeah.
pure destiny that
think,
we
like-
were in that Red Robin's on what it was.
I don't know. It was 2019.
Governor's Mall.
Wow.
Governor Square Mall.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
I think my Tallahassee time would have been better if you were in it, looking back. But
I got so frustrated
is
with
what
the
it
fact
is.
that every weekend it was always, it's Friday, we're going out to all you can drink. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll go. Saturday morning, it's Saturday, we're going out for all you can drink. I'm like, what? We just did that yesterday.
yeah.
How am I supposed to do that again? And that's just
And
hard.
you're a bartender, so you were
but
always
still,
around
like,
it,
I'm
know?
just like I'll go out once a week if I'm lucky type of person. Like if I'm going out to something like that, I would rather sit at home and
I know.
with some friends.
I think I've
and-
only been to one club and I was there for like less than 2 hours. The floor was too sticky.
That's what I was
and
gonna
it
say. I don't
smelled, and
remember a
was like,
single place
ugh.
where I didn't have to physically grab my shoes off of the floor to get them to come home with me.
Yeah, no thank you.
And I don't want to be doing that with shoes. So.
Yes. So yeah, and it's funny because you're a bartender and I'm really
And I
bad at
have
drinking.
been, yeah.
Really bad at drinking.
And I've been a bartender since I was 18. So, I mean, I kind of got shown how to drink
at an
drink a
early
lot.
age. Yeah.
Drink, quote unquote, well, I guess, at an early age. So, yeah. So I've been.
That didn't really work out for me so much, but
that's a good thing. It's not necessarily a bad
yeah.
thing. I mean,
I save money that way.
yeah, exactly.
There you go.
And your actual body.
That
I
too.
mean,
Yeah.
But yes, bartending has definitely been a big part of my life since I've been doing that for the past. I started when I was 18. I'm almost 24. So,
I know.
I mean, it's been almost 6 years. So,
That's crazy. But you're actually one of the smartest people I know, too. You're
thank
very
you.
intelligent.
well,
So
thank
you, I know
and that's
that.
a lot coming from you. You're the one.
I remember because, you were a grade behind me, and then I was in a math above my grade. So you were in, like,
The
you
math
were,
above
yeah,
your
you
above
were
your
taking,
grade.
Like, math
I was in
2 grades above you.
Yeah, because in 6th grade, I took Algebra 1. 7th grade, I took trigonometry.
7th grade, you were in Algebra 1.
Yeah, 6th grade, I was in... Yeah, 7th grade, I was in Algebra 1. 8th grade, I was in trigonometry. And I remember because there was literally 6 kids in that class. Yeah. So then as a freshman, I'm taking Algebra 2, which was already a class.
For juniors.
That was for juniors. And so I was just a freshman in a class. And there's one other... No, there was 2 other freshmen in that class, I think. But there were very few of us. But yeah, I was definitely ahead in math. And that's always been one of my... things that I'm into is I like
I know you should get back into it.
I know, right?
Mathforfun.com.
No. Cool math games.
Coolmathgames.com.
But bartending has been like a big part of my life. I mean, 6 years.
And you like it, but do you love it?
No, she doesn't love it.
No, she doesn't.
She loves the money.
Yeah.
She doesn't love the act.
Yeah.
Who really likes the act of working for money? But it's really the way that people choose to treat bartenders.
Yeah.
I mean,
let's circle back to the egg story for any of you who listen to
just
episode
a grown
3.
60-plus-year-old man
Bringing you eggs.
bringing me a full dozen eggs. And
No context.
Right. At the time, we didn't know this, but these were fresh eggs from this man's hens. Well, they had to be hens, but they weren't fertilized. So I'm hoping.
Yeah, they would be hens. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think roosters lay eggs.
Roosters don't lay eggs, right? But they do fertilize them.
Nah.
So hopefully they weren't fertilized. But
nonetheless,
regardless, I didn't eat them. I didn't have to deal with them, and that's one of the less creepy things that I've been given as a bartender. So
what's the creepiest thing? I'm a little scared to ask.
Oh God, the creepiest thing I would say probably. I mean, I guess it's messed up, but like phone numbers from certain people are
All the
creepier
time,
than
yeah.
just giving me eggs. Like at least I can put eggs to use if I want to.
Yeah. This phone number, it does nothing for me.
Right. And like this one guy, like literally 60 years old, and is your last name Gillette? Because you're the best a man can get. Vomit. Okay. Thanks, dude. You're 60 and I'm actually 19, but thanks. That was one of the most creepy.
But it makes for a memory, I guess. You'll never forget that.
I will never forget that pickup line. I mean, I know that it for sure will never work anywhere, but and that was the thing.
Kudos for him for trying, you know?
I mean, who hears that?
But also,
you're
stop.
Like Gillette,
you know?
Who's Gillette? Like, oh, okay. Exactly. You just have to eye roll and just,
since I've been putting myself out on the internet, I have seen what can happen when men have access to the internet.
You get stranger gifts than what I get.
Oh, yeah. By the way, for anyone watching, I'm holding a cat. A large cat body pillow. It arrived at my house.
Lumpy.
No context also. I mean, I guess there's some context because I am a cat person. It is very lumpy.
Right.
The package had my name, my first name, Cassie. No last name.
Right.
My address. And there was no note. Josh, in what world would I be able to read?
Explain where they can watch the podcast. Plug.
No man will speak like that to me.
Yeah, excuse me.
In the pink room.
In the pink room of all rooms.
Writing with that tone. Who are you?
Yeah, so if you're listening to this, just know that you can also watch our podcast on YouTube.
You can see Cassie holding this large.
So it is a goal of mine to find out who sent me this
cat.
So I can
It's a cat.
Thank you for such a thoughtful gift.
Hopefully one day we'll find out
who sent it.
Who brought it to Cassie.
I mean, thank you. Whoever it is, super nice. How did you get my address?
And not her last name.
I know. they gave up after the first 4 letters. So,
at least they could have at least put Cassie S.
I know. When Josh gets stuff delivered to my house, he just puts Cassie long last name as one word, like long last name. So, I mean, that would have made more sense than just not putting one. I didn't even know they could deliver, but I mean, it makes sense. Amazon.
Now you know.
So, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, I did get my first hate comment. User, what is it? Daddy123.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
User Daddy123, if you're listening to this, that was not nice. Calling me mid. I mean.
Was that not allowed?
The video. Okay, I'll do it again. User.
Move Phillip, long Phillip in front. Long Phillip.
User Daddy123, if you're listening to this, that was not very nice of you, but
we will never forgive you.
I'll move on, I guess. Calling me
I
mid.
Guess we'll forgive you.
At most, I'm a 6.5, which would put me into the top category.
The top mid.
But I think that particular man was just sensitive because he thought I was insulting a man. And he was like, no woman should insult a man. She's ugly. Who is she to be commenting on the beauty of his wife? And for more context of that, please take a look at our TikTok page and listen to the last episode with Blake where I talk about his hot wife, Jenna. So that brings me to a good topic Yeah,
the
maybe.
topic of topics.
I was just, who knows, talking about how men think that they can say whatever they want to you. You experience it all the time as a bartender. I know. I used to experience it all the time in my last job. Fortunately, my job now requires me to talk to nearly no one. So it's a dream come. I really could not even think of a better job.
That's the way to go.
If I ever dreamt to work, it would be for my job right now. I love it. But at my last job.
Okay.
I don't know if you know. Do you know why I left my last job?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you told me about it when we first got reconnected. You told me about the story about that.
I'm going to tell it again anyways.
Good.
So I was working at a place doing a thing, right? And
that you got paid for?
I did. And at that place, there was a person
that
got paid more than me.
Right.
To do something more significant than me, right? So this person had some power over me in a way, right? And this person was whack. And that's the worst I'm going to say of it, but this person belonged to the male category, right?
Not that we're blaming them.
Not that we're blaming them. It's just a fact.
We're just giving
the
you
story. Some context.
A
yeah.
picture.
So picture this. Man.
Getting paid much more.
Getting paid much more. Me trying
Young
to do my
woman.
job. Man
Getting paid
trying
less.
to, distract me from doing the job. Me saying, hey, man, please stop doing what you're doing. I need to finish my job. You
I
are
can
my
get
boss,
paid.
right? Like, you are my boss. You know that I have to finish my job. And he goes, oh, I was on Reddit last night. And I was like, oh, okay.
Cool.
I'm trying to finish my job.
Doesn't sound
And
professional.
he's like, yeah, I was scrolling through Reddit and I found this page. Trigger warning for anyone listening to this. I'm going to mention the name of an STD. Don't know if that's sensitive for anyone. And on the Reddit post, this guy was talking about how he had recently canoodled with a woman,
Right.
and then found out that that woman had genital herpes.
Right.
He was reading the comments and whatnot, and the person in a position of power over me was like, hey, commenting on the Reddit thing, I know about stuff, right?
I'm
You
experienced
should definitely
in
see a
this.
doctor.
Right.
That's what he said. So then he closes out Reddit, and then he goes back into Reddit a few hours later. And so as he's telling me the story, he's like, you'll never believe what I saw when I opened my messages. And I was like, I don't want to know. I just want to finish what I'm doing, you know. No.
You didn't want to see it.
I'm going
I
to tell
didn't
you. I'm
wanna
going to
see
tell
it,
you.
sir.
Yeah. And he goes, this person on Reddit, on the internet, sent me a picture of their
them?
genitalia and asked me if there was any signs of genital herpes. So I'm like, don't show me that picture.
Right. I want
Don't
nothing
show
to
me that
do with
picture.
that,
I do
sir.
not want to see that picture. I repeated it multiple times.
Yep.
What does he do?
Hey, Cassie, look at this.
Yep. But he pretended to be done with the conversation, right? And then like, oh, look at this. Like we were
Right.
changing
Yep,
topics.
Yep. That's what I remember, because that was the only way you got like conned into seeing it.
So
It was something you explicitly made sure that you did not want to see it, and then you got
Exactly.
conned into it.
And if we're digging into the deep end here, like this is a very sensitive topic for me that I've just only been able to talk about without crying within the past month or so.
Right.
It's just crazy how in that situation
Well, because you're with somebody like at a
All the
workplace.
time,
You
like,
can't.
every, you
Even
know,
if I leave you right now, what am I going to do about it tomorrow?
exactly.
Like-
So it took me a while to come forward with that information, and when I did, the bleep hit the fan, and it was just all uphill from there. And yeah, that was just literally that was the worst experience of my life. And when I was in school, I specifically studied victim advocacy. I studied patterns of narcissistic abuse.
That would
I
definitely
studied
make it harder, because
power and
all
control.
you're seeing. Yeah.
So I knew very well what was happening to me,
Right.
but it was a very sticky situation.
Well, and
that
I feel like that makes it worse.
it was awful. Yeah.
because you're in the situation and you know what's happening and you know what the intentions are. and-
Exactly. So I came forward. They removed me from that situation, but that person was still employed.
Right.
Actively working to get me fired from the job.
Right, because it's not like he doesn't know what's going on at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
So literally trying to get some of my coworkers to testify.
right. Right. Yeah.
In what court system?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, long story
HR,
short,
which is
he ended up getting fired, but what happened was they weren't really making the situation right. So they were like, here's 2 weeks of time off.
right.
That'll put a band-aid over it. Yeah,
that'll
that'll
be
fix
fine.
it.
You'll be good in 2
You'll
weeks.
be fine. I was not fine.
No,
And
I don't blame you.
I mean, he ended up getting fired, but I couldn't continue
Right.
working there after that because
Right.
it was
Well,
just...
and it goes about the way that they go about things, you know.
Yeah,
If
there was
it's
a
like if
level
there
of
was
trust
something-
that was lost
Right.
because it was so poorly handled. What I didn't mention is that after I came forward with that, another incident happened. Well, after I came forward with that, you
Somebody
would think they
else-
would have taken
right.
me away from like that situation. No, I was there for another 2 days, and in those 2 days, another incident happened. So, and that one was debatably even worse than this one. So,
Which is not something to laugh about, but it's
so
just
if you're
funny that that's how we get stuck in young women get
situations.
stuck in situations like that, because it's like, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Quit?
I'm exactly. At that time, my income was very important, right? We had a house, we had 2 new vehicles, I got 3 cats.
You have a lot to pay for.
A lot to pay for. Has anyone heard about my water and electric bill? So it was very intimidating, and I felt like I couldn't get out of that situation. I guess what I really want to bring up is Josh has been doing some research, and our analytics show that it's about 50-50, right? 50% male listening to the podcast, 50% female. So for the male listeners,
Be nice.
be nice.
Considerate.
Think about what you're saying to women. Yeah. Think about what you're doing to women,
Well, and not to say that all women do, but majority of women, I feel like, are automatically very compassionate and considerate, like
people pleasers, and
if you were, they read the room very well for most parts that I know.
And don't get me
them.
wrong, by me saying this in any means, it does not. I'm
not against
bashing men. No, I am just speaking of one specific instance that happened in my life. I've known plenty of terrible women too. So
because in that case, I mean, I could tell about the 3 women all above the age of 60, and all 3 of them agreed that I should get a boob job, a breast augmentation, rather, if you want, like those words. They asked me my name, my age, my weight, told them it all, and they go, wow, well, you're really pretty, but if you had boobs, you would be a true woman. Right. And did the whole, you would be a true
hourglass
woman. And I looked at them and I go, well, thank you. My dad told me to find somebody that likes me for my personality.
Yeah.
And, if somebody's
and you've
nice
got a lot of that
likes me for my personality and they want to pay for it, then maybe I'll treat them to a bigger set of. And they just looked at me with their jaws dropped, like, oh.
So it's not just men, it's women too,
men and women, but just
for
be
the
more
women,
considerate of who you're talking
girls,
to.
Whatever age range you belong to, if you're listening to this and if you're in a situation where you feel like you're drowning and you can't get out, just know that better days are ahead.
There's always a way.
When you're past it, make sure you get the help you need. I was very fortunate,
and don't be afraid to talk about it.
Exactly,
that's the main part. Don't be afraid to put it out there.
I've been talking with my therapist about it, which is why I've been able to talk freely about it. But anyone who knows me or who is close to me, at that time my life was a lot different than what it is now. So
we're so glad to have you as your happy self.
Maybe
doing a
if
podcast.
Truthfully, if that never had happened to me, I wouldn't be sitting where I am right now. We wouldn't be doing the podcast. I would probably still be working at that job until I died. So
very true.
Onwards and upwards, I guess.
That's the only way from here.
If it is upwards, I don't know.
We're going up, baby.
Could be going backwards. Yeah, I mean, what else? What else is going on in our life? I have a goal this year. It's my year of concerts.
Yes.
It started in February.
And I'm so happy to be a part of that.
Yes. So, and
a little tidbit in that.
Yeah. And so far, we're on the books for 2.
Right.
But of course,
that's only 2 out of 12 though. Okay. So it's just,
but I will be, pushing for more.
Right.
I still need to book a concert for.
Right. What months are you left?
Okay. So let me start with what I've done so far.
Yes.
February, Atlanta. I went to Atlanta for Casey Musgraves. March, I stayed local and went to an ABBA tribute band.
There you go.
I still had to count it. COVID it was hard to find a concert, people.
Right.
April, I flew to Indianapolis and then drove with my friend to Nashville, and we saw Lord, and that was phenomenal. May,
I bet that was really
with
good.
you, with Allie and AJ, which was so much fun. It was
that venue was awesome. That was the first time I had been there.
Me either. Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
and it was definitely
awesome.
It's definitely going to be in the top 3. I know that because the energy, and we had so much fun.
Yeah,
and if anyone was taking a video of us, we would probably be mortified because
like
we were fools.
Play that.
Fools.
Besides the fact when you literally saved that girl's poster.
I know. Yeah. So
you saved her. It was like what, $35 poster?
Yes, it was.
Like
it was autographed, and she had dropped it on the ground. And I'm always very aware of my surroundings. Right. I don't know who found it on the ground. It was some girls in front of us.
The lady next to us.
And they really did make an effort to try to find who it belonged to. They were like, going
we
once,
all shouted,
going twice, but
anybody lost a poster?
Yeah.
Poster. Okay.
No one came forward.
Yep.
So then we went to the other side of the venue, the complete other side of the venue, to go look at the merch table. And I see this woman and I was like, this woman isn't.
Frantic.
My, lady senses were tingling. Like, this woman
She
isn't
was like
distressed.
way behind us too. She
was
wasn't
so far
anywhere
away.
near us.
But
She was at the beginning of the line. We were like buying our stuff, and Cassie just whips her head like, "Oh my god, this lady needs something over here."
I was
She's
like, this
looking.
lady is in distress.
Yeah.
And I walked
need
up to
to
her,
help her.
and I was like, did you lose something? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, is it a poster?
Literally.
And she's like,
security.
I know.
Did you lose something? What can I
And
do?
she's
for
like,
you?
yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, come with me. And then I just lead her to the other side of the
Tap on
venue.
the lady's shoulder
And
and
I just
point
point
to the girl. This is her poster.
Yep, and she gave it back, so she got her poster,
Yep.
and she was so grateful. She was like, "Thank you so much." She was about to cry.
Yes. It was her and her friend. Like, they were probably,
Yeah.
God knows how far they drove to get there, you know?
Exactly. I mean, we did a long trip
Yeah.
ourselves.
So after Allie and AJ, he went to...
After Allie and AJ, I did Jesse McCartney last month. And then I will talk about the rest of the ones
That
I
are
have
coming
booked
up.
after they've been completed.
Yes.
But so far, I'm booked up until September, which is pretty cool. So I still need October, November, December, and January. So if anyone has any ideas, let me know.
November is my birthday, so maybe we can go for my birthday.
I would love to. Yeah, because we have
Somewhere.
one next month
Yeah.
for my birthday.
I honestly still beat us up that we didn't go to that. I know it wasn't victorious, but you know,
the iParty with-
That's what I was gonna say. Wasn't an iParty?
Yeah, with Matt Bennett.
I'm so sad we didn't go.
I know, we should have gone. But by the time we were kind of like, yeah, let's go, the tickets were like $100.
Right. For
When
an
they
iParty, come
They
on.
started at 17.
Right.
Well, wrapping things up here, you get to open up this Lego mini figurine. It's a Muppet edition. It's a limited edition. There's 12 to collect. So far, we have Gonzo, Kermit, and we have the Swedish Chef. Yes.
I see them now. The Swedish
I'm
Chef.
gonna slide
That's
this
his
over to
name,
you.
is the Swedish Chef.
You get to guess which one it is, and then you get to open it.
So we've got. I know. Emily opened Kermit, so I'm not.
Yeah,
gonna
Emily
guess
got
it.
Kermit. Josh, you had no. Gonzo was from Savannah. Oh, and Josh had the Swedish Chef.
Gonzo's
Wait, no, Blake had the Swedish Chef, right? Yeah, okay.
Gonzo's the weird bird thing, right? Or is he the bear?
First
I
off,
know you hate me. I'm not a Muppets girl. I didn't want to tell you until after I was already here and a part of this, so that way you wouldn't kick me off. Have you heard the Muppets Bohemian Rhapsody?
probably. You know,
That
I
makes me
walked
wanna
down
kill
the aisle
myself.
to a Muppet song, right?
Oh, so it doesn't. Yeah, that's very romantic.
It was very romantic. It was a ukulele version.
Oh, even more romantic.
Okay, open the package, Carly. It's
But
time.
I'm supposed to guess.
Okay.
I want this noodle guy.
First
What's
of all,
his
his name
name?
is Beaker.
Oh, sorry, Beaker. Sorry to disrespect you like that. Beaker, I want you. Oh, it's Miss Piggy. I'm sorry. I saw her little head in the corner. That's
I
all
heard
right.
just spit my water
This
out.
is a woman empowerment.
Better out my
Episode.
mouth than peeing my pants.
I should have guessed Miss Piggy. Dang it. All right. Anyways, I hope we didn't have to follow the instructions because she's already built. So
I think
she
it's
looks
time for
great.
the
She's
snack attack.
beautiful. She's really living her best life. Oh my God, she has a little magazine or something. Whatever this is.
Don't
Do
you
we
have
just
your-
put her next to her? Sorry, I really messed that up.
Well, why don't you tell the listener what
Here,
your
she's
snack
gonna
is?
hold it.
I feel like I didn't say all of my normal things that I say, like
she
listener, pink room. We're in the pink room. You got Miss Piggy in the pink room. That's iconic.
Piggy in the pink room. What's this? What is this? This looks like,
That's the
More fun.
instructions.
oh. But it's got Kermit playing a banjo.
All
That's
right.
pretty interesting. Oh, this onto the snack attack.
Snack attack. What did you
Wow, I
choose?
forgot how big these are.
That is what
You really
she
should have
said.
got one. We have the Slim Jim Savage size. I mean, you have to be watching this.
I had to send
to
one of my
see
people
exactly how
to
big
Walmart
this
for
is.
this.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised you bought two. Let's just open one and bite it. I'll bite after you if you're like weird about that.
I don't care. Here, have some of my
Really,
meat stick.
So the story behind this, I don't know if you want to know the story of it,
I
but
would
my
love to know.
dad got these.
Good
for
old
me.
Rodney.
Rodney, good old our money. He, because we have a personal connection of beef jerky. So Slim Jim is, I guess, the closest thing to
A
it.
cousin, yeah.
Your face. But so When he saw these savage
Slim
Slim
Jims.
Jims, God bless his heart, he thought of me. So really, I should be happy.
It's every
about
girl's
this.
dream.
It's just
A healthy daddy-daughter relationship.
it's really just a giant Slim Jim.
Yeah,
which
I thought it would have a different flavor or something.
no, it's just a large Slim
Slim
Jim.
Jim.
Like for the ultimate truck road trips
We should have eat those
in North Carolina.
eaten those. Eat those.
No,
Eaten
I
those?
really am glad that we did not eat
Yeah.
these on our trip to North Carolina.
That would have
But
been really bad with our unbrushed teeth mixed with Slim Jim. That would have been
Exactly.
rough. But yeah, tell Rodney that if he's booking another trip this year, I'd love to come along.
I think we have an open spot for his birthday.
Put me on the list. Put me in.
You're in
Oh.
there.
Well, subscribe.
We're not gonna rate it.
Oh shoot, we didn't rate it.
You just
Yeah.
ate it and just call it
I
a day.
I think it's good. I'm gonna rate it an 8.
Oh my god.
I would like it a little bit more if it was spicier.
Bigger?
But
Oh.
also, isn't this just
It's just a Slim Jim, just large.
beef,
it's so
pork,
meaty. It's
mechanically
savage.
separated chicken, water,
Don't read the
textured
ingredients.
soy
You're
flour,
never supposed to read the
corn syrup,
ingredients on a
salt,
Slim
contains
Jim.
less than 2% of natural flavor, dextrose,
Anyways, it's
paprika.
delicious.
I wonder if there's any cumin in here
or curry.
powder.
Okay.
For those
probably
of you
don't
wondering
know
what
which
that
one it is
reference
or not.
is we made, we make
Cassie
dinner.
messed up the
I
rice.
know. We make dinner every time before the podcast, and by we, I mean me. And I made chicken enchiladas, which were great. So I made rice, Spanish-style rice, right? And it called for cumin, and I used
Very similar to curry.
curry powder.
Right.
Because I don't know why. I have no reasoning behind it. I was like, this is cumin. And then I smelled it, and I was like, something's off here. So I just added in the cumin on top of the curry powder, and it was fine. We just had a multi-continental dinner.
Multicultural,
Multicultural.
multicontinental, everything.
Nothing like a white girl
Okay.
cooking an enchilada with Spanish rice and curry powder.
This has 3 times bigger than the original Slim Jim. So if you could put 3 Slim Jims together and then eat it all at once.
I guess we really didn't need 2 of these.
No, I should have told you.
It's okay.
I can give this one to my dad and he'll be very happy.
I don't know if this will be the best episode of the podcast or the worst episode.
Right.
I feel like
We'll see what Josh does.
we didn't really accomplish a lot, but we were here. We talked. That's it. Yeah, let's wrap it up by saying please subscribe, share this with a friend, a neighbor, a cohort. Oh, I need to do the Instagram count. Anyone want to tell me what the Instagram count is? I believe when I checked earlier today, we were at 78 followers each week. It just keeps getting better and better. We also have a TikTok where I did receive my first hate comment. A YouTube. Right. We have a Twitter, which I think we're up to 4 followers now. 3 on Twitter. Sorry, guys. Any closing thoughts you'd like to share with the listener, Carly?
I have one. I gave you the cat.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I did this whole dinner and you never once looked at me and said, Carly, did you deliver this cat to my house? You just said, did you bring it? Did you bring it? Did you bring it? Did you? I have to admit before I leave this house, I will show you the Amazon order.
That was so good.
The mystery is solved. I can't be your mom. I can't wait any more than just this time. This has been killing me. I don't know how you didn't see me at dinner. I was like,
I didn't see you.
I was like, I didn't.
What a thoughtful gift.
You said your love language is gift giving, so that's the least gift that I could give.
How thoughtful.
But I will confess here, so that it's all
That
stated.
was a twist I did not see coming. That'll make for some good podcast. You have to listen all the way to the end to find that one out.
Right, that's my closing note.
Well, thank you, Carly. What a thoughtful gift. Now the internet is going to be very confused when they see the pictures that I posted.
Of me holding it, asking who sent this?
Okay, that'll be it.
Holding it. Sorry. You said you had a closing note. Now you don't?
My closing note was, who sent me this cat?
Okay, well, then I take the light from your closing note.
The real closing note is, have a good day, have a good life, have a nice meal with friends. If you don't have any friends, listen to the podcast and it'll feel like you have some friends.
Right.
And give you some tips and tricks on how to make some. And we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for listening.
Toodaloo.